information and oh shoot, it's already streaming. So this is the real video. If you accidentally tuned into the first one, very special guest in the house today. Also good to be back with having guests, and also a very appropriate guest for the month that just turned of October. We have I'm gonna go for it. We have Chicago's premier Halloween music arranger of the band you may or may not know. You don't know this. I knew about Gramps the Vamp way before I ever met you from a co-worker at the Northwestern University Program of African Studies. But Maxx McGathey of Gramps the Vamp here today. We'll talk about it maybe when we take a pause in the middle of the set, but they have a new album as a band led by Max coming out as they usually do for Halloween, and super exciting stuff, and also I'm just very excited to be improvising with you today, man. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you so much for inviting me. We had a really good jam one time in the past, in pre-COVID era.
Pre-COVID.
And I'm glad to repeat it.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Do you want to say anything about the album really quick before we get started?
Yeah. So Gramps the Vamp is my band, and we're releasing our 3rd full-length album. It's called Keeper of the Void, and it's got 10 songs, and it's a journey out into the unknown. And there's a lot of dark, heavy grooves. There's like movie cinematic action themes and crazy improvisation, some surfy guitar licks. It's got a lot of good stuff on it. So if you want to check it out, there's a pre-order right now on our Bandcamp, grampsthevamp.bandcamp.com.
Check it out. It's rocking. The couple singles have been really rocking, so I'm excited for what else is to come.
Thank you, man.
There's vinyl, right, too?
There is vinyl available.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that's out on the 23rd.
Just in time to get really spooky.
Exactly.
All right, let's make some sounds.
All right.
Thanks for coming in, everybody, to the stream. If you're just joining, this is a special guest, Maxx McGathey. His band is Gramps the Vamp. Check them out. They got a record coming out. Before we jump into more playing, I just want to, I think, Max, you're someone like who you do a lot of like arranging and planning stuff, but you also do, you're also a very, very good improviser and, and I know you've done a couple times. You do film scores. I know you've also done like improvised stuff to film as well too. I guess like for you, I think this is something that's interesting. Both for people who are musicians and improvisers, and just people who see us making stuff up on the fly. Like I don't know, what is there a difference to you? Is it different mindsets, or does it all come from the same place for you?
Improvising versus composing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Let me turn this off. I think that composing is just improvising with. It's just improvising over and over again until you find something you like and then you stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it comes from the same place, artistically, but improvising is just a little bit more. Like you just accept whatever happens, whereas when I'm at home composing, I'm still improvising, but I'm going over it over and over and over again until something sticks. So, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I think it's always interesting. Like I think everybody, I feel like it's a very individual experience for each person, and where those lines are demarcated and stuff. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do I think? I try not to think. I feel like things are best when I don't think. But no, I mean I think so too. I think when I'm more maybe I think it's changed for me over time, but I don't know if it's the direction I'm at and I'm heading past it, or if it's the direction I'm still heading towards. And I think it's the second. Like I think I'm heading towards this direction of like improvising, really just trying to compose. Like I think getting away from like, all right, it's my solo. I'm gonna play the most like killing thing now, and just getting towards like, okay, like, well, what does the music want? And sometimes the music does want a really killing solo, But I think just finding ways to like. And I think that's what separates like the good bands from the great bands, or the good improvisers from the great. Is just like, is it? I think telling a story is important to me. I think just as long as it tells us a story, which does kind of, that does sound composed. But then I think at the same time, I think the way in which you tell that story is more dictated by who's in the room, and that's where the improv comes in. Yeah. But,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The improv is just so much more about the moment and about like the space and the people, that are a part of it. And composing, you just have that. Sometimes it's harder to accept what's happening with composition because you have an infinite amount of time supposedly.
Yeah. It's like a great piece of work is never finished until it's abandoned,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you about the story. Like the story aspect is pretty similar. You're just trying to make the music speak what it wants to speak.
And that can just like differ so much. Like we could like listen to what we just played and like write it out, and like we could try to do the same. More likely, no matter what, like or like you could write that out and give it to a guitar player, and I could play that same thing with a guitar player, and probably what I'm going to play is different. Or if like we put one person in this room with us, we'd probably play it differently, and we put it on a stage with 200 people in an audience, we play even differently and stuff.
Definitely.
So it's just like
Definitely.
I think no matter what, I mean, even if you are like the most regimented classical musician, I think you're really being sensitive to what's happening. Okay, like second violins are struggling on intonation today. Someone's gonna step up, someone to cover it up. Just subtly. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a never-ending joy and struggle at the same time to try to get to where you're just being in the moment where you're not trying to control it and you're letting it control you, but you're still in control of your own instrument. It's like an interesting balance.
Yeah, it's always a challenge, and I feel like no matter how good you get, it's always going to be a challenge.
You're going to have your day, there's going to be days where it's like, well, I don't even know what I want to say today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Let's get back to it.
Okay. That one had several different worlds within.
That's all about, man. We live in a world of many worlds that don't get to collide enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like for me, a lot of this is always about, without making it, I think it's easy to fall victim to just like eclecticism, like, oh, it's like a mix of like everything you ever heard and liked, and it's like, okay. I mean, you can get there eventually, I think, but I definitely think it's important to like, I don't know. I mean, I think we're just kind of beyond, for better or for worse, we're kind of beyond only having access to like what's in our immediate vicinity. We're kind of like, we're so cross-pollinated that what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yep. There's no holding it back.
Ooh.